We are racing for the planet. At extreme locations. Where quality is true and a legacy is left. We pioneer new technologies and we push them to the limit. Extreme E is back.
The world's first electric off-road racing series is back for another action-packed global tour. Racing in some of the most remote and toughest locations on Earth, Season 4 promises more drama, exclusive peeks behind the scenes, and inspiring initiatives to help fight the climate crisis. In this episode, we'll meet some of the new faces in the paddock, introduce you to this year's teams, and bring the best of the action from the opening rounds in Jeddah.
Contact!
But first, let's take a look at the runners and riders for this year's competition. It's all changed for Season 4 of Extreme E with new driver pairings and 2 brand new teams. And where better to start than with our reigning champions, Rosberg X Racing.
Up on 2 wheels! Johan Christophersen saved the biggest roll there!
Michaela Arlen-Kotlinski and Johan Christophersen are back for another year to defend their crown. 2 championship titles for RXR since the beginning of the series, but will they continue to dominate? Their biggest rivals in 2023 were Acciona Sainz, with 4-time Dakar winner Carlos Sainz heading up the team. Laia Sanz is back, looking for redemption after coming so close to winning the title last season, and bringing new energy to the team is rapid Jamaican Fraser McConnell. Also shaking up their squad is Neon McLaren. Season 2 champion and Dakar winner Cristina Gutierrez is paired with the man who's nearly won everything, Matthias Ekström. They'll be a big threat this year. A brand new all-American team joins the Extreme E lineup, Legacy Motor Club, headed up by 7-time NASCAR champion Jimmy Johnson. With Jimmy unable to contest the opening 2 rounds of the campaign due to a clash with the Daytona 500, US compatriots Travis Pastrana and Gray Ledbetter will be behind the wheel for the Desert X Prix. And there's another new team to the championship, but this time with familiar faces to the Extreme E paddock. Timo Scheider and Clara Anderson join forces together with new team Sun Minimeal, both eager to start the season on a high note. Veloce Racing is back and retains the same driver lineup, Kevin Hansen and Season 1 champion Molly Taylor. They had an incredible season last year, winning the last round in Chile and finishing 3rd overall in the standings. A strong pairing that will no doubt be fighting for victory right from the start. Andretti Autotequila are also back with the same squad. They are the only team to have kept their original driver pairing of Katie Munnings and Timmy Hansen since the first ever Extreme E event. This year, they will want to get back to winning races and fight for the championship. And last up, JBXE, owned by F1 World Champion Jenson Button. They keep rallycross specialist Andreas Backrad, who'll be sharing the driver's seat with a new addition to the Extreme E paddock, Dania Akeel. She has plenty of experience driving in the desert and is the first ever Saudi driver to enter the championship. A fantastic lineup that will make Season 4 a year to remember before the new Extreme H Series kicks off in 2025. Things are going to look a little different this season. Sun Minimeal is one of 2 new Extreme E teams joining the paddock, with Timo Scheider as team principal and driver, alongside teammate Clara Anderson.
Extreme E developed the last couple of years into a very, very competitive championship around the world. I started as a track designer in Extreme E. Then I got the reserve driver, and now I'm a full-time driver and team principal. So my history in the championship is quite cool, and I really loved it. Every single day on site is a challenge, but also excitement. To line up with Clara is a very special situation for me because she's a well-known female driver in the paddock, super strong, super quick. I'm super proud to sign her as my teammate.
Super nice to line up alongside Timo. I mean, we've known each other for quite some years, racing each other, so it's super nice to have him as my teammate. I am sure I can learn so much from him. He's one of the most hardworking and fastest drivers that I've ever met. I'm super excited, and I hope and think that we can be a strong pairing.
We had a hard time, I would say, the last couple of weeks. Since then, we have been working flat out, and I'm so proud to be here now. And being the driver and the team principal at the same time is a complete new challenge. I figured out I have to suddenly take decisions I never had to do before, but also it's very, very interesting. My target was straight away to set up everything as good as possible, to have a competitive team lineup. My minimum aim to get the right people with experience inside the team. If we wouldn't have got all these people working for us now in the background, we probably wouldn't have done this, because these guys are making the job. These guys are giving us the tool and the weapon to fight against the others.
We're here to race. We are so excited, and I think this is the most stacked grid that we've ever seen in Extreme E.
Racing became very, very competitive. When you see back in the days or the last couple of years, the field had been separated more and more over the races, and now season 4 is coming up, and when you see the competition, how close it was in the final race of last year already. So I expect even harder fights and more fights side by side and closer racing. And both of us, we like to fight hard, and we know each other from racing in World RX, and we know when it counts and the light goes green, we go elbows out and all in.
Coming in as a new team, of course it will take some time. We have all the ingredients at what we need for success, and we're both experienced drivers in the championship, but everything can happen in Extreme E, of course. So I think we will take it step by step, but for sure we want to be on the podiums, and we want to be competitive, and we want to be a strong team.
So, how would Sun Minimeal fare in their first ever Extreme E race? In the opening qualifying heat of Season 4, they were up against Neon McLaren, Veloce Racing and JBXE.
Away from the line, it's a good start on the outside for Andreas Backrud. Now though, you can see Noah hyperdrives used by everybody running off the line. Ekstrom's got that inside line. Kevin Hansen comes around him fairly smooth through this long run up to the first corner. Backrud trying for the long round the outside move. I think Ekstrom's going to see though and shut the door on him there. Kevin Hansen leads for Veloce into the first crest over 3.
Okay, good job, we are leading. Keep focused in the front now.
Good momentum here. Clara Anderson trying to close down the back of Andreas Backrud, couldn't be closer.
0.9. Car behind has hyper.
The Noah hyperdrive enabled. She was just behind the car of JBXE, Andreas Backrud, but she's lost out. I think JBXE just managed to catch her on the inside, so she's lost out, but can she do it again?
Anderson contact with Backrud into the switch for the first time this year.
Veloce Racing had a healthy 7.2 second lead at the switch, while Sun Minimeal got the jump on JBXE, moving up to 3rd.
Good, we are in front JBX. Come on, Timo, keep pushing.
Molly Taylor dominated the final laps of the race to win for Veloce Racing, with McLaren in P2. A solid debut for Sun Minimeal as they ended up 3rd.
And they're off. It's the green light, and the first off the line are Andretti. Legacy getting left behind a little bit. Everyone using their Renault hyperdrive, but it's Katie Munnings with a really nice start. She'll go round to the right. RXR taking that wide line around the waypoint 1. Who will get this? Yes, it's RXR, Christopherson from Munnings, Sands, and Ledbetter at the back.
Johan Kristoffersen never looked back after that great start, building up a comfortable lead as Michaela Arlen-Kotlunski brought it home for RXR in P1.
Well done, everyone. Good start to the day.
Good job, everyone.
Everyone at Extreme E is deeply saddened by news of the death of championship co-founder and racing icon Gil de Ferran. Gil was a two-time kart IndyCar Series champion and winner of the 2003 Indianapolis 500. He was also jointly responsible for the launch of Extreme E.
You know, Gil de Ferran was a great friend. Him and I remember breakfast in my house in London. We came up with the concept of Extreme E. He was the one who gave me the idea to go to remote locations, and he was a great hero of motorsport.
Longtime friend, a racer, one of the most humble people I've ever met, given his level of accomplishments. He was a very valued member of our racing team, of the racing community, a great personal friend who I've known for 20 plus years. Very sad, but his family wishes that we celebrate. And so we're going to do that together and hopefully in victory lane, because that's the game plan.
Gil was an incredible individual and unique in being a race car driver, that his skills and his talents passed beyond just driving cars, team ownership, team management and so on. It was a great source of advice. We would bounce ideas backwards and forwards. Big loss to motorsport and motor racing fans the world over, and to me personally, of course.
He was such a huge part of the McLaren family, of course. And the one thing that really struck me at the time was the fact that although I've been involved in motorsport for a relatively short period of time and he's really reached hero status, I think it was incredible that he just treated everybody as an equal, always willing to share his knowledge and his passion for motorsport. Gil was truly a racer, but also a gentleman.
He was an amazing human being. We spent so much time right here where we are now in the Santa Elena. I mean, you know, I cannot talk more because I would cry, but you know, we miss you, Gil.
The second qualifying heat, and Acciona Sainz, Legacy Motor Club and JBXE were all planning to improve on their earlier performance.
Here we go, a lot of wheel spin for Acciona Sainz, but a great reaction time from Fraser McConnell. Fraser McConnell should have this from the outside line. How deep is Travis willing to go on the brakes? Sideways, Molly Taylor coming around the outside. Pastrana gets into P2. He's inside McConnell on the run up into turn 2. Fraser McConnell, though, holds on for Acciona Sainz, so it's Fraser McConnell from Travis Pastrana for Legacy Motor Club, and then Molly Taylor in P3.
After the switch, Acciona Sainz's Laia Sanz increased their lead at the front, while Kevin Hansen chased down Legacy Motorsport in P2, who now had Gray Ledbetter at the wheel.
Looking for the inside, outside. Which way is he going to go? He's going to stick to the outside and try and go round the outside, sticking all the way through one. He's trying everything he can, and it looks like Kevin is just about to get through. Oh, a bad rut there for Gray as well.
Good job, mate. Good job. Keep pushing like that. We have P2.
Acciona Sainz took a comfortable victory, sealing their place in the grand final, alongside Veloce Racing in P2.
Good job, everyone.
In the second heat, Newcomer's son Minimeal took on a trio of heavyweights: Neon McLaren, Andretti Altekilat and Rosberg X Racing.
Sun seemed to have got that lead. RXR being pushed out wider than they wanted to go, and RXR shuffling back behind Andretti now, and McLaren seem to be barging their way through as well.
And it's Gutierrez, of course, in at McLaren. She looks to the inside of Arlen Kolinsky, so a big battle going on between those two. They need to be further up the order if they want to guarantee a place in the grand final.
Come on, push. Andretti is behind you.
Although Timo Scheider had a great start, Timmy Hansen was soon chasing down the lead.
Sun are trying their hardest to hold out a little bit of contact there, but finally Andretti are through.
Good job, keep it clean now, keep it clean. You've 4 car lengths already.
Andretti had a narrow lead going into the switch, with Katie Munnings taking over, but Johan Kristoffersson was in for RXR, immediately moving into P2 ahead of Clara Anderson. But Johan Kristoffersson was in for RXR, immediately moving into P2 ahead of Clara Anderson. And it wasn't long before Kristoffersson took the lead.
Johan immediately uses the Anoa hyperdrive and makes the pass straight away. That's so switched on.
Neon McLaren's Matthias Ekström wasn't giving up without a fight, and gained on the race leaders to make it a three-way battle for the top spots.
So it's Katie in front, chase her down, it's 1 second ahead. Gap is now 1 second behind.
Looks to that inside line, now he's looking to the outside, try and find the smooth sand. Matthias Ekström going to get alongside Katie Munnings on the brakes now. Deep sand will help, he hooks the wheel up the inside of the banking, tidily done. And he now gets after his old rallycross rival, Johan Kristoffersson. Kristoffersson will know in the mirrors that he is there. You can't miss the famous papaya in your mirrors. But Kristoffersson's going to hold on. RXR take both wins in their qualifying sessions. They will be the top qualifiers. Yes, says Kristoffersson. He's beaten his old rival Matthias Ekström for Neon McLaren. Look, he's pulled up next to him. They look across at each other. There's big respect between those two guys.
After an action-packed qualifying two, it was RXR, Neon McLaren, Acciona Sainz and Veloce Racing who would make it through to the final. Andretti's third place dropped them into the redemption race, alongside Newcomer's Sun Minimeal and Legacy Motorsport, with JBXE completing the lineup. Another new face in the paddock this season is Extreme E's first Saudi driver, Dania Akeel. She's joining Jenson Button's team JBXE for her home race, alongside new teammate Andreas Backerud. And she's followed Extreme E as a fan right from the very start.
I am a new driver to Extreme E, and I'm very happy to be here. I followed Extreme E since season 1. It always just looks like they find the most beautiful spots on earth and race there. We're here in an area called Khules. I'm from Jeddah, which is about an hour and a half away from here. I live there with my grandmother. It's a wonderful place. This is very close to the Red Sea, but it's a bit inland. So you have really nice sandy dunes. Not too far away, you have these beautiful rocky mountains and some nice rally-style twisty tracks. So it's a really diverse terrain. I can already see that there's a lot to learn in terms of finding the right racing line, how to work with others on the track, other cars. I think that will help me a lot with what I do, which is cross-country racing. When you're in the open desert, I think you can learn a lot from these sprint races. I love the atmosphere between the drivers, you have a teammate. To be completely honest with you, I just want to use these 2-3 days for the practice sessions to just get to know the car a little bit. When it comes to performance and comparison to the other drivers, I haven't thought too much about that. I have no idea as to what that journey is going to look like for me over the season. The fact that the race is at home for me, it made it easy. And it's a good feeling, you know, my parents plan to come and watch, my aunt and uncle. My biggest fan, I think, is my grandma. Maybe she's my biggest fan, I don't know, but she's very sweet and I always update her about my races when I come home. And she follows rallies now. It inspires me also to try to do well. You know, before my last race, when I was leaving, I was going to drive a new car. Usually she tells me, be safe, good luck, take care. But this time she said, you know, have fun and do well. I said, okay. So it's nice, it's good support. She gives me a lot of advice on how to manage myself, how to manage emotions, which in racing is crucial. I try to deliver my best when I drive, and I think it's important to show commitment. It's important to take opportunities like this seriously, because it is a privilege to drive cars, to compete in a global level. It's a privilege, and it takes work. And I think if there are kids watching, I would love them to know that they can do anything they want to do at the highest level of competition, but they need to do the work, and they need to be patient. Patience is the biggest asset. So if kids are watching and they're inspired, these are the values that need to get you to the top levels.
12 championship points were on offer to the winner of the Desert X Prix redemption race. This was the first redemption race for Legacy Motor Club and Sun Minimeal, but Andretti Akeel and JBXE weren't going to give them an easy ride.
Backerud with a good start on the outside. Munnings is the first to use a hyperdrive. Look at the difference 400 kilowatts makes as KT Munnings streaks into the lead.
Good job, you've got 2 car lengths. The other 3 cars are side by side.
Backerud goes round the outside, moves over to P2 in the background. Anderson side by side with Gray Ledbetter. Gray Ledbetter going to try and hold on as she comes around the outside of this one. Contact between them up and over the crest. Surely side by side, wait for them to appear. Oh, and she's just got the better of her. So Gray Ledbetter into P3 for Legacy Motor Club. Brilliant start by the 19-year-old. But out front it is KT Munnings leading from Andreas Backerud.
Andretti Akeel's KT Munnings continued to build on her lead, increasing the gap to over 4 seconds ahead of her rivals as they entered the switch zone. But it was the competition between the new teams that was really hotting up, with Sun Minimeal overtaking Legacy Motor Club as Travis Pastrana took the wheel.
Go, 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 go!
Pastrana's got a chase on now for Scheider. Meanwhile, Timmy Hansen out front is stretching his lead. But Pastrana and off to the side of the road. He waves at Timo Scheider. Travis Pastrana waves at Scheider and moves up a position. Big grin on the American's face. It's fantastic. Look, they're all laughing away. Here it is, Pastrana closing that gap. Now he's got to find a way past.
Car outside. Keep pushing.
Travis comes around the outside line now, carrying more pace, side by side with Dania Akeel. Lovely pass. The American legend makes another pass in this one, up from P4 into P2. So it is Munnings and Hansen for Andretti Akeel who win the first final of the year. It's the redemption race at round 1.
Good job, mate. That's 22.7 seconds over Travis.
Yeah, that's crazy, guys. Thank you, guys. Fun, boys. Thank you for an amazing car. Oh, great job. Really proud of her.
The first grand final of season 4, and the competition was wide open. Rosberg X Racing battled with Neon McLaren in qualifying, but Acciona Sainz and Veloce Racing also put in strong performances. So, who would be standing at the top of the podium at the end of the race?
Wheel spin from all the cars. They'll wait until that dies down. McConnell's the first to hit the Inoa hyperdrive. Out really wide, the McLaren. Look at this. An incredible line from Matthias Ekstrom comes out. It's super wide up the inside, trying to get all the way to the lead, and he does. Ekstrom with an unbelievable cutback. The widest line we've seen all day. He will have known about that all day long, and he saved it for the final. Gets the whole shot from about 100 metres out to the right. Epic stuff from Ekstrom.
Right on your tail, 0.5.
Now, though, Kristoffersen fights back. He's got the alternate line and carries a bit more pace alongside Matthias Ekstrom now. Kristoffersen up the inside line makes the pass. So Kristoffersen sticks the RXR with just a little bit more exit speed up the inside of his old rallycross rival, and he takes the lead.
With the margins so tight between teams, it was now all down to the final 2 laps of the race.
3, 2, 1.
Cristina Gutierrez, familiar with chasing the RXR. Contact between them, the McLaren into the back of the RXR.
All good, Chris. Gap 1.4.
Darlin Kotlinski still coming under pressure. How Gutierrez has been able to see anything, that's Dakar experience for you, following other cars for hours on end in the dirt. She is nailed to the back of the RXR, but she cannot find a way through at the moment. We've got about 5 or 6 sets of flags still to go now. Up the inside. A lot, side by side, it's going to be enough, surely. Gutierrez on a roll. McConnell's over on his side. Gutierrez takes the lead from RXR. Arlen Kotlinski drops back. The Acciona Sainz machine is out of this one. It ends round 1 on its side, but a pass from Cristina Gutierrez in that tight left-hander right towards the end of this race. They're coming up towards the end of the Traction Challenge.
She's on your inside. Keep pushing, keep pushing, keep pushing.
Yes, go on, go on.
Arlen Kotlinski looking to the inside line, makes the pass back again. Michaela Arlen Kotlinski for RXR takes back the lead that was hers for so much of this race. Gutierrez now has just a couple of flags to go. Surely no chance for this one to change again. Absolute carnage in the very first round. Brilliant action here at Extreme E. It's Rosberg X Racing's Arlen Kotlinski after an incredible battle with Gutierrez. She takes the win. Maybe the closest finish ever in Extreme E history in a final. Wow!
Yes! Well done, Michaela. Good job.
You're giving me heart attack.
Did we get it?
Yes, we got it. It was close, but we got it. P1.
Are we P1?
Yes, we won the race.
Nice job, everyone. Right, nice job. Really good job.
I had a very good start, first of all. I just tried to stick with Matthias for as long as possible and tried to get into position to make an overtake, and yeah, I managed to do that second lap.
Kristoffersen up the inside line makes the pass.
And from there on, I just tried to drive as fast as I could without taking too big risks for delivering the car to Michaela in P1.
Yeah, it was a very tight race. I mean, came out P1 and felt confident, but it was rough out there. And then I got a bit of a hit from Christina, and then we were just battling all the time, and she did a good pass into waypoint 13. But you know, I felt I didn't want to give away that win. Anyone making such a good start and team working so hard. I think I managed to get a really good exit out of waypoint 15, so I had some good speed up the hill, and therefore I could do that overtake. But without that, it would not have been possible.
Kayla Arlen-Kolinski for RXR takes the win. 0.3 of a second between them.
It's always nice to start off the season well with some good results. Obviously the competition is getting tougher and tougher for each year, and it's going to be more very tight, hard battles throughout the year. So every time you can get out on top is very important, and also, you know, try and enjoy the win and be in the moment a little bit, even though it's difficult when it's a race already tomorrow. But yeah, very valuable points, winning both heats today as well.
I think all of the teams want to get a revenge, and I mean, it's been really tight looking at the times. It's been very competitive, and like Johan said, every year it just gets tougher and tougher.
I think the pressure is on the others to try and get the championship. You know, we feel pressure, but at the same time it's not because of we won last year, it's because of that we put pressure on ourselves to perform well even in season 4. We'll try and do our best and work on all the details and focus on ourselves, and hopefully that will bring us good results.